Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video we're going to be taking a look at gold as price looks to be heading towards our overall targets around about the $1,800 level. Now we've been talking about gold quite a lot recently, pretty much every week ever since price came up to the 1945 handle, and ever since the rhetoric from the Federal Reserve had changed in terms of them hiking rates for longer. Now last week price started to pull back and we were discussing whether price would reject this 1847 area. If I just go down into the lower time frame, this area in here was what we were looking for price to reject. Price, however, shot a little bit higher than that, and we actually came back up into sort of the previous sort of lows here, where we had this kind of consolidation before price broke to the downside. So once price got into this consolidation area, I was looking to see how price would react. And then obviously we had Federal Reserve Chairman Powell testifying. Yesterday is also testifying today as well, and the comments that he made yesterday were quite hawkish in tone, and price of gold dropped significantly lower, because if the Federal Reserve are going to start hiking interest rates for longer, that will have a negative impact on the price of gold. If I go to the weekly time frame, you can see when the Federal Reserve were talking about hiking interest rates in the past, we saw this big decline in the market. We saw the fall from around about the $2,050 mark all the way down to the 1630 zone. So there was quite a significant drop in the price of gold when that was being discussed. Obviously then when they slowed down the pace of tightening, we had this reversal situation going on where price then came up into that 1945 handle. Again, now the rhetoric's changed, and inflation, although it is coming down in the US, other data points are running quite aggressively, and that's what's spooking the Fed into talking about hiking rates at a faster pace again, and that's why the price of gold is declining. Now if obviously that continues, the $1,800 level is our target. If we break through that, we have the daily 200 moving average around about the 1775 handle. I still feel like gold could maybe travel a lot more lower than that. We've got the 1730 area down in here. We've even got the 1630 lows, which could also be tested. Now obviously from a daily point of view, you know, I want to be looking at areas where that where those sellers came into the market, and you can see that's this area back up around about the 1850 handle. So from a higher time frame perspective, I would want to see price personally come back up into this area here, and seeing if the sellers that drove price down from this area, are they around again? Okay, are they going to form a rejection at this point, and is price going to start pushing back to the downside? Now, if the dollar's strength is going to continue aggressively, we may not see price pull back up into that key area of resistance. So if I actually go to an hourly time frame, let me just delete this box for a second, because you can see where I've drawn it, where there's been a lot of aggressive selling pressure coming in here. Price has then rallied, and where has it rallied to? Well, it's rallied into an area where price had formed a high, and that high comes in and around this area here. Okay, so you can see price tried to trade above it, failed to get above it, and then we've seen that continuation to the downside here. So what I'm trying to say is we may not get back to this point. Instead, price may want to reject in and around here again, which would give sort of more opportunities to traders that like to trade the lower time frame. So if I was to go to the 30-minute time frame, for instance, let's say price rallied up into this area, we had an aggressive move back up, price came back into these highs, and we saw a rejection. You know, could I ask myself the question, is that a double top pattern? And if so, will price then trade to the downside in and around this level here? Because even if I trade a lower time frame, you've got a really good reward to risk ratio if I was to look for opportunities in and around that point. So gold, I love the opportunity to trade gold to the downside just because of the fundamental pressures at the moment, and I think that if price was to pull back into an area of resistance, we could see sellers jump back into the market. So let's see what happens with the price of gold. Potentially we will see price head towards the $1,800 level, maybe even to the 1730 area as well. Thanks for watching this video update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave this video a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more Forex trading content. I'll speak to you in the next video.